And
hello and welcome to a Gypsy's Kiss. It's Friday, Fandango, and I'm the magical treasure princess, life coach to the rich and famous, and the zookeeper, Shelley Carney.
And I'm administrative assistant to the magical treasure princess and her collection of little stuffy toys there. My name is Toby Younis. Thanks for joining us tonight. We don't have any emails, but that's okay because we do have some text messages. And I'll remind you again that if you want to send us a text message, this would be a grand time to do it. 202-815-1171. And that likely means that after we say hello to all of you guys, we're going to open up the phone lines and you're going to get to talk to us about your issues associated with the thrill of the chase. So how's the MTP doing tonight?
Super. How are you?
Great. We just had a great interview on Sales Leaders Institute with a gentleman who was just had enough stories to last a lifetime. He kind of reminded me of talking with Forrest Fenn because he had more stories than as many stories as Fenn did. Let me take care of some business here.
Housekeeping, you want towels?
Of course you want towels. Towels are muy importante. Make sure that before you leave tonight, you like our video because YouTube likes it when you like our video, and the Magical Treasure Princess likes it when you like our video. Make sure you share this with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your social network, so that we can
grow the channel.
Jumpin' Jiminy, that was a new one there. And finally, if you are not already a subscriber, this would be the ideal time to subscribe to our channel. That way, when we start a live stream and you see the notifications bell, when we start a live stream, you'll be immediately informed and
in the know.
Because there is nothing better in life than being in the know in these unique and special times.
I know, right?
Oh, you know what? I do have one email, and I forgot to read it. I'll read that in just a second. I do want to remind everybody that normally, and what I said on Wednesday, was that we were going to be conducting a Church of the Search on Saturday night. I had forgotten when I said that Mike and Christie are on Saturday doing their marathon. So we will not be doing the Church of the Search. Instead, what are we going to do, Shell?
We're going to watch a movie.
Ay, Chihuahua, qué mujer. All right, we're gonna watch a movie, and here's what we've done. We don't feel like this is a competition for Mike and Christie because it has nothing to do with Forrest Fenn, and it might be a good break from it. So let me show you. I'm gonna go to a screenshot here. What we've done. We're going to use. I don't know what's going to happen when I do screenshot here, so just bear with me as I make
3D bronze. Bipping.
Bipping. Oh, is there? I'll do that in just a second. Okay, so as you'll see right here, there is a jotform.com, a Gypsy's Kiss /movie night. I will post that link right here. And here's the plan. We've never done this before, so we don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off. And again, let's see, it's the aftermath. Heck, I was going to sign in. Okay. So, yeah, unfortunately I can't. Sorry. So here's what we're planning to do. tomorrow night, Shelley and I have been experimenting with Zoom.us and different ways to use it. So, for example, I Zoom all my children in at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and we have a 1 hour. It went 2 hours last time. We did 2 hours just communicating with one another, staying in touch during this time when we can't even get out of the house unless we're working out. In addition to that, Shelley got this great idea and invited our friends, our local friends, with whom we always have contact with, and she called it a Zoom dinner. So on Sunday night at 6:30, we're all making our own dinners, and we're going to get together on Zoom, and we're going to have like we always do, conversation over dinner and wine. We'll just be in separate locations. Well, I started thinking about it. We have this Zoom thing that I pay, we pay $20 a month for, or something, $15 a month. And I thought, what else can we do with it? So here's what else we can do with it. What we're going to do is tomorrow night, we're going to
Cha-ching!
Okay, hang on. All right, you take care of these. Ready? Here's the first one. Go.
3D bronze. What do you want me to do? Yay!
Well, do something. I mean, you're the one that
he
brought
said
it.
to kick out COVID or something. I don't know. To beat super chat to beat C19.
Okay, thank you. And we're going to do that. That's a nice investment. We're going to forward that to the CDC, and then
Mel Rustad because he can. I guess
because he can. Well, I do have a text.
Look out. Send more money so Toby doesn't get the COVID-19.
It's all in the chat. I do have a text message from Mel that I want to read later and perhaps even share a picture that he sent. So I just ruined my throat. So tomorrow night, we're hosting movie night on Zoom. In order to be invited, and this is not...
Are we still on a small screen?
Yeah, I'm going to open it up here. All right, so that's where you go, and I just posted that link in the chat room. You have to fill out the form with your name and your email address. Now, I wouldn't ask for that if I didn't need it in order to send you an invitation to our movie, okay? I don't expect that we're going to get 100, but we can handle up to 100. And when you go in the room, the audio will turn your mic off so that you can't speak. You'll be able to communicate with each other because we're going to have the chat room is open. So there's a chat room very similar to the one that you're using right now. And we're going to play the movie Contagion. And it was released in 2012, and it is about a virus that becomes a pandemic that comes into the United States, and we're not prepared for it. And so it's very much like what we're experiencing right now. And I'm not doing it to be a wise guy. I'm not doing it to make anybody afraid, but it's kind of informative because they use a lot of the same language that we're seeing in the news right now. So you're welcome to join us, and all you have to do, it'll be about an hour and a half. I think the movie's an hour and a half. If you want to take a break away, we're going to have movie night. Bring your own popcorn and your own adult beverage if you'd like. Shelley will be there. I will be there. I'm hoping Kevin will be there as well. And he's got to work. That's right. And so we're just going to watch a movie together so we can share in
He's one of those essential people that has to go to work still.
Yeah, I know. Bless his heart. So it's funny because all the mods are chatting with each other and it looks like a room is filled with nothing but moderators. But you know what, moderators? Thank you for volunteering to do that. We like that you do that, and you're so good at what you do, and we really appreciate it. And we hope that we show our gratitude often and fully when we do. Okay? So I've put that link in the chat room. I'm going to do it again. And I've also put it in the description box below, so if you'd like to join us for movie time tomorrow. And that's in lieu of us doing Church of the Search, because we're not going to be doing Church of the Search tonight, so that Christie and Mike can get through their marathon. Do your marathon imitation. That's good. Yeah. All right. So I can't give you any. I can't give you any emails. So I don't have any email music. But let's do this. right, go ahead. You say hi.
I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. I bet you'll say, what can make me feel this way? My guy. You're supposed to say.
Oh,
You're supposed to point at
my
me.
girl. Wait, you're over there.
Wait, where are you?
You're there.
Oh, you're over there.
Okay, yeah. Look at that.
Wait, you're over there.
No, you're over there. You're over in Rio Rancho.
Oh, but on screen.
So
Anyway,
make sure you text any of your questions to 202-815-1171. After we get through comments, we'll open the phone lines and tell us how you're feeling about Laugh right now. Right now.
we'll say hello to our friends in the chat room. Say hello to our little friends.
Say hello to our little friends.
William Sparks, hello. Davio, hello. Redneck Express. Why are we shouting?
Oh, they were all typing in caps.
We're all writing in caps. Yeah. Kiwis Road. Debbie Teal. Tony Russi. Maverick One. T.I. Mattis.
Let's see.
Bird in Charlotte.
From the Who's Your Sister's team.
Ben Wise. Okay, it's not a shower curtain, guys. See? There's stuff in there. There's cupboards. And
yeah, she left it open so you guys didn't think she was in her bathroom.
There's no toilet paper either. It's just stuff.
We're just talking toilet paper.
Brian Eagle, Rudy Green, Treasure Hunter, woot woot. CT 2020 in the house. Hal Gibson, William, 86K CV-19 cases in the U.S. this morning. Almost 104K now.
Let's see where we're
okay.
At. Go ahead.
There was an update. Huli, one of our mods. K-Pro, another mod. Virtual date night. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's kind of how we see it.
You know, it's got to be nice for Christie because she had the virtual date anyway.
Right.
So now she's like, see, everybody, now you know how it feels.
Right.
Ha. Mr. T. We got Craig O'Hare, Sarah Rocks, another one of our mods. Roy Burton, hello. 3D Bronze with a super chat. INFJ. Got John Miller. Got my Lithophane. Awesome. Swami. Mel Rustad. Calabrado. One of our mods. Okie Chest Chaser. Got Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was in our softer side chat room. We just had a nice little Toby just told you this. We just had a nice little interview with somebody who filled in for us at the last minute. Never met him before. Met him on LinkedIn this morning. Came and showed up and entertained everybody for 45 minutes. And that's what life's about, man. Make friends and then put them on your show.
Make friends and force them onto your YouTube channel.
That's right. Why else have one, right? Michelle Vodanik, vodka.
Okay. Vodanik. She says, I just watched that movie, and it is exactly what is going on now. It is the language that they use in the movie is literally like we're hearing in the news right today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maverick One. Can't watch them scary movies.
They're not scary, Maverick, and I strongly recommend you take a look at it because it puts everything in context, and it has what I would call a happy ending as you go through this, as they go through it, because we're going through exactly through the same situation. I mean, you watched it by day is how they do it, and the experiences they have, and it's all very similar to what we're experiencing. Captain Marvel says, "How did you find Dr. Sennett?" That was Shelley that did that. How did that happen?
He contacted me on LinkedIn because I post a lot of our videos on LinkedIn, and people see them. And he just said, "Can I be on your show?" And I said, "Yeah. How about tonight?" He said, "Okie dokie."
Okay, she said. So Kpro asks, so is the next movie Outbreak? You know what, Kpro, I really liked Outbreak a lot, but it is more, it is not very much like what we're experiencing. It would be more like if there was an Ebola outbreak and we managed to let it into a single city in the United States, or that it was contained in that single city in the United States. So in that respect, it doesn't replicate what we're experiencing. Contagion does. Contagion is almost exactly like what we're experiencing. Although, don't get me wrong, Outbreak is a great movie, and I love the character that I'll never remember his name.
Not Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman. I love that character. That was, to me, that was a Dustin Hoffman outstanding role for him. But Contagion is very much like what we're experiencing. Go ahead, and I'll follow you in just a minute. And Kpro, I would like to call you first before we open up the phone lines so that you can tell us a little bit about the marathon tomorrow. But go ahead and finish up. You, Shelley.
Oh, for sure this time?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Larry Sandell, big hello to all searchers. Wishing you and yours are staying safe. We are all in survival mode. Be smart and safe. Absolutely. One of our member vault members is sick with the virus, and she was there last night, but oh boy, she had a hard time breathing and talking, and we want everybody to not get this. We want you to stay safe and healthy.
Yeah.
French Quarter French. Is it possible to get Barry from Florida's email address?
Barry?
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
French Quarter's asking. Michelle Vodnik, I just watched that scary... Oh, I just watched that movie, and it is exactly what is going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So may I? Sassy says, did you ever see Andromeda Strain? Very good. That was from the Michael Crichton book, and it is, again, a very good movie, but very different from what we're experiencing right now, kind of in the same vein as Outbreak. So do you remember it?
I did not see that one.
In that case, the molecule, the pathogen, arrives on a meteor, if I remember correctly. And they have to track it from there. Michael Crichton was a medical doctor before he became a novelist.
We have Alex Wellman. Scott Mames here. I'm not sure what that means, if that's his real name or what's going on there. Soundboard. Swami Senate. Scott James here. Okay. I don't know what that means either. Sunray, hello, Ronnie Lee, because I can. The Sassy 1962. I love the pulled back curtain so everyone knows it's a closet and not a shower. Right? See? Check that out. There's a bear in there. Look at that. One of my stuffies.
Oh, is that one of the bears that we got at...
No, that's... Which bear is that? That's a Steiff.
Oh, okay.
Got that in Germany. In the 80s when Kevin and I were in Germany. Let's see. Roy Burton, bummed, can't go, boots on the ground. Soundboard, cowbell. No Bobby Dazzlers. Ken Blythe, good evening. 93 Butterscotch. Zoom in the treasure hunt. Corey J.
He was in our earlier show.
Oh, okay.
Very
Steve
grateful.
Wayne. The Wiz. Boop, 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 boop. Off-trail Jaeger. Greetings all. My daily agenda. She just watched Outbreak. Doug Carver. PEI, we have 4 out of 250,000 from travelers coming back to island. Oops. Charles Chapman. Another name for Shelley's tiara is a corona.
We're going to share that in just a minute.
We are?
Yep, I'm going
Can I share my crown?
No, something else about Corona.
I'm good. I'm done.
Okay.
Well done.
Well done. Thank you for that. So I do want to share a couple of things that are slightly related, but I think you'd find interesting. So this is, as you know, my daughter Sean is an artist. One of my daughters, my oldest daughter Sean, is an artist, and she paints retablos. And retablos are paintings that have Catholic religious significance. They were painted by the artists that they arrived in New Mexico. And they have a pantheon of 256 different saints that they're allowed to paint. And she just discovered there is a Saint Corona. And so she went looking for the imagery and the story. And so she painted her. She sent me, she actually sent me 10 of the postcards that are 4x6, and she autographed them. I should have those in the next week or so, and we'll be giving some of those away. Saint Corona was a I don't remember if she was a nun, but the area in which she lived is right around the area in which Italy was experiencing the worst of the coronavirus. So she came back out. She's also coincidentally the patron saint of treasure hunters. Who knew? So Sean has done this, and I'm not going to tell you the story about why the palm trees are there and the ropes around her wrists, but those are all symbols of this particular saint. And what was neat is this was as she discovered this information as the coronavirus was, becoming more. We were being made more aware of it, and so what she did is, I don't know whether you can see these right here, but those are the connectors that the coronavirus connects with the cells in your lungs to the ACE2 connectors. So she added that kind of what it's going. Anyway, if you have any interest in Saint Corona, she offers a bunch of choices. You can go everything from 16 by 20 canvas all the way to a 2-inch by 3-inch pocket card. So if you're interested in that, I'll post that link in the chat room in case you guys want to see it. But it was interesting to me that not only was this saint, the patron, it's too big. I can't do it. Let me see how I can do this so it's easier. I know what I can do. All right, let me go back to this screen. So I will figure out a way to post that later. I have to go to Bitly and make it smaller. Kiwi's Road says, I was talking to my dad yesterday, talking movies like that, like 12 Monkeys, etc., and even after all those books and movies, somehow we still messed up the prep, readiness, live and learn. Well, when you consider, Kiwi, that we were given fair warning of this in 2002, 2007, 2009, and 2012 with those virus experiences then, we had plenty of warning. We ignored it. So to our own detriment. I was going to share the John Hopkins map, and the reason is we just went to the top of the list. So not that I want to make this coronavirus program, but you should be aware. So total confirmed cases worldwide, 595,800. Total deaths, 27,000. The U.S. is now at the top with 103,000 total confirmed. That's about a fourth of the confirmed cases in the world right now, and total deaths of 1,689. So it is getting to be a sticky wicket. When you go to that, I will put that map if you want to check that out. It's the best way to keep informed.
We just experienced the first death in New Mexico from it yesterday.
Yeah. So it is here in New Mexico, and so there we are. I do want to remind you that we do have a channel dedicated to the virus. It's called COVID Conversations. Every Monday night at 7 p.m., we've got an expert. His name is Dr. Coffee Brown. Yes, that's his real name, and he does live in the home of Brown.
Did anybody ask if it was his real name? Or do
No,
you just like
I just
to
like
say
saying that, yeah. But he is a the director of emergency medical services at the University of New Mexico Medical Center, and so he's an expert in these matters. So
Much
join
more
us.
so than we are.
Yeah, we just ask questions, and he'll answer your questions. We do open up the phone lines. You can text us questions, et cetera, et cetera. So let me. Oh, here. Let me do this.
I don't know why you keep saying "let me." I mean, who's there to stop you?
Okay, here's what I can do. I'm going to give you the link to Sean's Etsy page, and then you can navigate from there. How's that? That's a lot easier. I think that's right. I hope that's right. If it's not, let me know.
So, were you like planning to give away postcards of that, or what?
I am. So Sean is sending me 10 of the 4x6 postcards. I've asked her to autograph them. And in the same way oh, by the way, I do want to apologize for Wednesday night. We forgot to do a giveaway on Wednesday night. And I was reminded afterwards. And Shelley didn't say anything because she thought it was intentional. It wasn't intentional. It was just an old man forgetting. So I apologize
I
for
forgot to, honestly. I
So-
didn't say anything because I forgot.
Next Wednesday, we'll go back to giving away doing giveaways on Wednesday. And with any luck, I should have some of these autographed images of St. Corona by next Wednesday. So I'll have them, if not, it'll be the Wednesday after. So, and Sean said she'd autograph each one for us. And we're going to have 10 of them, so we'll have plenty of time to give them all away. So, K-Pro, what I'd like to do right now before we get on to other things is I want to give you a call and give you a chance to talk about the marathon going on tomorrow, okay? So here we go. I'm going to call Christie.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
So I'm very good. In a couple of seconds, you'll hear me say that I'm calling you so you can talk about the marathon tomorrow.
Yeah, I always freeze. I do something different than most of the callers.
Yeah.
I turn down once my phone rings, before I answer, I turn down and mute and do all of that. So I won't hear that.
Okay. All right. Well, I did want to call before we started going through text messages, voicemails, and all that to give you a chance to talk about the marathon tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're starting a little earlier because otherwise it makes it a 4 a.m. kind of day for me,
Right.
or kind of night for me. So we're starting at 9 a.m. Mike's time, so that means it's noon my time. So we'll go, I should say Pacific time versus East Coast time.
Right.
So we're doing it a little bit different this time. We've given each panelist a half an hour, except for a couple of people that I'll talk about that in a second. So we have about 10 new people coming on, individuals that just had a topic of choice and they just kind of want to get their feet wet. They haven't been on YouTube. Some of them have, and they just haven't been on our YouTube. Some people you know and love. And then we have maybe 3 or 4 panels as well. We have our first Battle of the Titans.
Wow.
So that'll be interesting.
Is that a surprise, or can you
No,
tell us who it's going to be?
on the agenda. It is Michael Houle, who is MEH, who Forrest says is brilliant, versus Cynthia Meacham.
Wow.
Yeah. And they are debating, when Forrest talks about the big picture, what is the big picture? I will say I saw a little bit of the back and forth, and I know within the big picture a few things they're going to debate, and I'll leave that for the show. But it will be the two of them. Chike and I are going to try to stay out of it, but I already strongly agree with one over the other.
Yeah, of course.
It'll be fun. But we have like the logic tracer. He has a little bit extra time because he's going to walk through logically some of he just a really nice layout of things.
Yeah.
You met Justin at the World Series of Fenn.
Justin Posey, yeah, I did. Great guy.
He calls himself the biggest loser, 7 years and 700 boots on the ground. So he's gonna bring in some perspective. But Christie, okay, she actually sent me how to say her name,
Fiorello, right.
Fiorello, okay. And then Meeps is on. So some people we know already and love their logic and thoughts. And we will have, of course, we're going to have a new clip. So we'll play that sometime. We don't know exactly when. So, and then we thank you. William is in the room. William bought 2 extra pieces of Copper Dan art and is donating it as contests. One Tony Henman necklace is, I actually had one, so I am donating it tomorrow, and then a Chaseopoly. So we're going to have
Wow.
at least 4 contests. We're trying to make it fair. We're working on that tonight. Clips and contests is going to be right after the show. Mike and I did date night, and I said, I have to go to AGK, and he's like, we have to prep. I'm like, right after AGK. So that will, so he has video games. I have AGK. We
Right.
will not
Yeah.
step on each other's toes. We have our priorities.
No.
So it'll go 12 hours. We have to cut off the stream at 12 hours. At 12:01, we lose the entire video.
Right.
We will do an after party, just a short one, because I told Mike I have a virtual movie night that I have to go to. So we're going to do a short after party because that's actually right when after party starts. So it's kind of perfect to do a very short after party and then just jump right in to what you guys are doing.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Well, that's good to hear. So which channel is this going to be on? Yours or Mike's?
It's going to be on Mike's. I did the last one, so he's doing this one.
All right, let me post
some
that.
people, I've already got some critique that we're starting too early. That's why it's the marathon. You're able to go back and watch it later.
Right.
So, and one person was pretty nasty about it. And I said, okay, here's a full refund, which is $0.00. Thank you for all of your input.
Right.
We're doing our best, guys, when we're 3 time zones apart to try to make it 9 a.m.
Right.
If that's too early for you, we're just introducing things anyway for the first half an hour. You'll miss Matt. I'm actually going to have to step out for an hour because I have a previous appointment with my son and have to take care of that. And Michael step out to make meals and things. So it's just, if you haven't been part of the marathon, it is really, really fun. It's a great time. Usually there's about 100 on average all throughout the day. People step in, step out. They ask where the clips are. We will later put exactly the minute so you don't have to actually walk through it all. So
Right.
it'll be great. But the coolest part, I think, is we have 10 brand new people that have never been on. It is amazing because most of them are people. Do you remember Lisa and Mark West?
Yeah.
She's the lawyer.
Right.
She's walking through some legal precedents that
Wow.
she's going to say she's not a legal representative, but she believes with some of the stuff he has said, we can narrow down some things. So I don't want to take fire away from her.
Right.
So and we are going to do one of the other panels is, should you make money off the chase? So anywhere from people that are artists to those scoundrels that make Chaseopoly. And this was a requested panel. So Mike and I are going to try not to weigh in, and we're going to let the panelists weigh in on what that means. So, so that'll be an interesting debate.
Well, of course, you know my opinion on that matter, and anyway, so
we're going to actually debate some things like there are some people that are selling bootleg e-copies of TTOTC. There are some people that have sold some things without forced approval. Legally, you don't need forced approval. Just most people get it. Well, Forrest hasn't been supportive of everything.
Right.
Is that okay? So we're going to get more into than just should you. We're actually going to get into some of the nuances. And what if you're your own brand like AGK?
Right.
Is the brand okay, but not the chase part? You know, so I think we're going to get into a little bit more depth than just should you have anything related and only let Walmart sell things.
So
yeah.
I had a recommendation for you, and I don't know if you did this the last time. One of the things, because you and I both know that something like this is going to draw tens of thousands of views after it's published.
Yeah, we usually get about 15,000 within 2-3 days.
Right. And part of that is the fact that people keep coming back. They're not going to watch it in one fell swoop. They're going to come back for hour 1 or 2 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But what I was going to recommend is that we don't have this problem because our programming is not consistent enough to be able to do that. But one of the things I was going to recommend is that in your description box, and maybe you guys have already done this, you can actually create links to where each one of your
like hour and minute marks.
Right. So that way people can go back to that set of links in your description box, and you can let them know this, of course. And that way, if they want to see as you said, the attorneys, or they want to see the panel on monetization or whatever, they can just click on that link, watch that, and they can do it at their own leisure and watch whatever programming they wanted. So that was...
Yeah, and we do that for the clips, and that's a good idea to really do it for everything. Because he was your first It's All About You, Bill Kaiser.
Yeah.
He tells me that he goes to work, and that is a solid 2 weeks when he gets on his lunch hour. He watches one segment each day for like 2.5 weeks. And so he is one that we know we get 15 views from, because then he goes back and sees a couple of them for a couple times. So that's a great idea. We will definitely do that. And we'll definitely put the clips for you guys. But it is funny whenever we do a contest that's like time sensitive on the show. You guys probably have this happen. We will have people submit to that for weeks and weeks and weeks to come. You're going to have to be on the marathon to win the prizes on the marathon. This isn't going to be watch later and 3 weeks later email us.
Exactly. That's an important part of what you have to do, because that's why they're there, right? Have the contest for the people in the room at that moment in time. So
right.
So
good. So it'll be fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. I'll watch what I can. We've got a not less than perfect weather day tomorrow, so I'll have you on in the background most of the day as we get through it, right until we do our movie nights.
Nice. That sounds great.
All right, and good luck. And tell Mike we wish him the best, and look forward to another successful marriage. I mean, you guys have gotten really good at this.
It's getting more fun. Again, we're going to try. Everybody needs to know, maybe this half an hour, maybe it won't work out as well. Maybe you're going to want to hear more from people or something. Yeah. We're trying something new every time to get that really good product at the end. The marathon in 10 years is going to be awesome. We just need a few more of these. So, we're trying something new based on your feedback. So, we'll let you know how it goes.
One last question, because I'm going to ask everyone I speak to tonight this question. Do you believe Fenn's treasure will be found before the end of 2020?
So I just talked with a reporter who asked me that question, who had interviewed 30 people. Yeah. And I said, no. And he said, when do you think it'll be found? I said, about 10 years. And he said, he goes, oh my God, you're the first one that says not this year. Right. Yeah. I said, oh yeah, those are called roosters. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what? I'm like, oh, you haven't heard that term? And roosters. I explained it. He goes, oh, I've talked to a lot of roosters. Yeah. No, definitely not in 2020. I don't think actually it's going to be anything in the 20s. Boom.
Well, good. All right. Well, for the rest of you that are watching right now and you decide to call, I'm going to ask you the same question. So be prepared to answer that one. All right? All right,
Thanks
Christie.
for having me on.
My
Bye,
pleasure.
Shelley.
Thanks for taking the call.
Okay, bye-bye.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye. I noticed that you had some things going on. Everybody wants to know what you're eating.
Cashews.
Cashews. All right. And it's not you're not in the bathroom, right?
Oh, Toby decided that we should go on from starting at 6 until 9. So when am I eating dinner? I mean, we had to meet our new person tonight, so I had to be in my chair at 5:30.
Right. She was crunchy earlier because she was eating apples and cashews, and it was all kind of crunchy. Here we go. And later on, there's probably some chocolate over to one side. All right. So I want to thank KPRO for taking that call so that we could hear more about the marathon tomorrow. I strongly recommend that if you get a chance, watch it, keep it on in the background. We're all at home right now, so certainly it's going to keep some of us entertained throughout the day. And just have fun with it. You get to see a lot of different people who are involved in the church in the search that don't have their own YouTube channels like us. And so it's kind of neat because you get to see a lot of people whose faces you might not otherwise see. And I think that's the best part of it. All right. You got anything going over there that I need to get to before we start text messages? Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I don't know. I'm not there, so I can't look around the room and see. Were you going to show off the new thing you got in the mail?
Oh, yeah. I am going to show it off. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. So what I wanted to show you was this. Now, I'm, as Shelley has probably said in the past, I am a collector, but not in the same way as, say, Forrest Fenn is a collector. I am a collector of contemporary objects, and she'll tell you that I collect backpacks and other devices, shoulder bags, over the shoulder bag. That's one of the things. Notebooks. I'm a big.
In fact, you'll get a new backpack, and I'll say, "Oh, I like that bag. When you're done with it in 6 months, I'll take it."
Before you take it to
Goodwill.
Goodwill, yeah. So
If you're going to get rid of that, then I know my son would like it when you're done with it. Or that thing over there, when you're ready to get rid of it, you can.
So it's a thing for me. At watches, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of watches. But one of the things I love collecting is pens. And I'm going to share something with you. Let me see if I can open this up so that you can see it better. So in today's mail, I went to pick up today's mail. And in today's mail, there was this. And it is a hand-turned pen. Very stylized. It's made of, the body of the pen is made of the combination of wood and acrylic, and it's turned. And I recognize this particular pen kit because I have another pen that I turned myself back in the 2000s that's made from the same kit. The difference is this one posts. This is called posting, by the way. Posts, mine doesn't. But it came in the mail today from someone anonymous. I have just based on the handwriting, there was a handwritten note in it, and the handwriting looked very feminine. They asked to remain anonymous, and they said that they recognized my passion for pens, and they had hand-turned this one and sent it to me. And I wanted to say thank you for doing that because it's just beautiful, and it's a very stylish piece, and it was nice getting a little surprise like that in today's mail. So I was very grateful for that. That is not the first pen that we've received. Last year, was it?
A couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, one of our viewers sent a couple of pens, one for Shelley and one for me, and I use that all the time too. Do you still have it? You still have yours?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's see if you've got it. So that's the one that Shelley, that's the hand-turned pen that Shelley got, and that's the breast cancer awareness ribbon on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he sent that one to Shelley and sent one to me, and the kit that he sent to me is made to look like a rifle. It's made from a cartridge, so it was very attractive, a lot of fun. JK Pioneer says, I used to make pens for Papermate. Huh, interesting. Okay, so let's do this.
Ronnie Lee wanted to know what posting is.
Posting, when it comes, if you're a pen fanatic, posting is the act of taking the cap off the pen, off the point of the pen, and placing it on the back of the pen. This one is screwed on, but so this is one of the pens that Shelley and I order for ourselves. It has a little nubby on one end and a flashlight on the other. Posting is the act of taking the cover off the pen part and putting it on the back of the pen. That's what pen fanatics will tell you is posting.
Michael Flanagan wants to know, do you think 2020 could be the year?
I do not, Michael. I didn't think it was the year before we were diagnosed as a nation with the virus. I think that's even cut it back further because I think that's going to affect people's travel plans. I think we're about to enter a period. Nubby. Yeah, I don't know. What do we call these things? Capro says it's not a nubby. What's it called? Somebody in the room.
Stylus?
Stylus. That's what it is. Nubby. I don't know what else to call it. I think we are this year and perhaps part of next going to experience what I think history calls an inflection point where our nation is changed as a result. And I think it's going to be dramatic. And I think I don't mean I'm worried, but I think the Fenn treasure hunt is going to fall off the top of our list in terms of things that are keeping us busy and entertained. So I think the combination of the fact that it's hard to find and the fact that we're about to experience this test of our resilience. I don't know how else to describe it. This is where we find out if America is as resilient.
The rubber meets the road.
Yeah, this is where the rubber. This is the year. This year and next is we're going to find out whether or not Americans are as resilient as they claim. This is going to be. I was reading an article about it.
We are human beings, and human beings are adaptable, if nothing else.
Right. And it was written by this gentleman who's been tracking this for 3 years now, and a friend of his was worried because she was about to give birth to a baby, and everything turned out well, and he decided to call that baby the first of Generation C, the generation that experiences the effects of the coronavirus on society, because it is going to be a different generation. They're going to grow up in a world that was different from the one that we experience now. Question? Go ahead.
As Brian Eagle said, Maslow's hierarchy of entertainment. The Fenn thing will come down the list.
It's going to go. What's going to come up? It's going to fall below security and survival. Brian, thanks for that. I hadn't thought about Maslow's for a long time. Okay, so let's go to. Remember, if you're going to send me a text message, you can send it to 202-815-1171. We'll go back and forth between them and the voicemails and our calls. And I would appreciate it if you do send a text message, include at least your first name and the state from which you are texting, so that I can. As some of you know, we have a. Let me see if I can share this. We have a brand new grandbaby in the family. Her name is Palmer Ray English, and she's grandbaby number 12, grandbaby person, number 12 in the family. And then number 13 is due in August. This was our Boca Raton, my Boca Raton daughter. The other one is the Reston daughter that's having a baby in August. I'm going to see if I can share this real quickly. I guess I can't. I've got to upload it. I don't know whether I mentioned to you last week that Mel Rustad, who is one, he watches all our programming. He's always very enthusiastic, and he's very supportive, and he's always challenged us to do new and different things. And then he always tells us how we're doing, and he does it in a very genteel way. He sent us a peridot last week, and he challenged me to mount it for the Magical Treasure Princess, and I've ordered the mounting as well as the chain, and I'm going to do that. But he saw the new baby, and he made a comment on our community page, but I then got a text message from him, and it says, when we can get out, we will send this gem for baby Palmer. Sky, that's his granddaughter, picked it herself from her collection. Stay safe and healthy, Mel and Sky from Oklahoma. So it looks like what they're sending is another one of those peridot, and I'm to make a pendant for granddaughter Palmer Ray. And Mel, that touches my heart, sir. That's very kind and very thoughtful of you. And as soon as I can get this picture up, I'll post it to our community page to see what people have done. That's very gracious, and I want to thank.
I guess she's going to have a lot of palm tree theme stuff. Oh, she's wearing that palm tree thing.
Well,
Palmer, palm trees, okay.
That was not the half of it. Let me tell you Toby Renee's position on it. Her response to Erica posting pictures of Palmer in the outfit with the background color and everything. There were 8 of them. And Toby Renee, my other daughter, as they were on Facebook, Toby Renee said, that kid has worn more outfits before getting out of the hospital than I've worn in the last month.
Oh, I thought she was going to start posting pictures of the dog with big bows on its head or something.
So there are some pretty big bows on this baby. Erica has a thing for bows. So the first baby, Everly, had a bunch of, we got all kinds of Everly bow pictures. This one has bows too. So it's kind of cute. Mel, thank you for that. And Mel and Sky, thank you for picking out a beautiful stone. I will assure you that I will mount it correctly and make sure that as soon as I can get out to Boca Raton to visit with baby Palmer, I'll take it with me and present it to her myself. And I'll leave her a little note so that when she grows up and wears it for the first time, she'll know from whence it came. So thank you for that. So Dave said, this is Dave from Texas. Is Rio de los Pinos still your most likely location? I don't know how we cheered it. It's good. Sorry, didn't mean to make you laugh. Dave, it is. It works out for us in terms of the first two clues. It's a nice area. It's very fenny. It fits a lot of the criteria that we look for. So, yes, the Rio de los Pinos is still our primary area. Ken in Oklahoma, always busy. Ken, Oklahoma came upon some HOB info this week. If we go with the brown gravy idea, a kettle is also a term for a glacier boulder depression, either filled with water or dry. Man, that guy is always thinking. Hi, Toby. I think it's Friday Fandango. Might want to check the banner. Karen, member vault. Ugh. Karen, you're amazing that you noticed that. Okay, so, yeah, have you distract him with something that you're reading in the chat room so I can fix the banner here.
Cheers. Bluetooth cheers.
Yeah.
I'm drinking an Arnold Palmer, tea and lemonade and vodka. Well, that sounds interesting. I wouldn't mind a little of that.
Okay, so we got to cut off the Friday school.
How is Toby such a tough guy, but so sweet at the same time? Love him. Tough guy? He's not a tough guy.
I'm a softie. Yeah, unless that's right.
Him. Then he'll be tough.
All right. Okay. So
just don't threaten him. You're all good.
Let me fix the scrolling text. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for always. She always notices that. So, oops, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Keep working there.
You can order margaritas for delivery in Texas now. Can't wait to try it.
Really?
That's what Brian Eagle says.
How cool is that? Okay, scrolling text, properties.
You know, they used to have drive-through liquor stores.
Oh, yeah. I grew up with drive-through liquor. Well, I'm sorry.
And then I think they even tried delivery for a while, but then they realized that kids would be calling up. And
I have a delivery story for you when I was in college. So I was in college at the University of New Mexico. Okay, Karen, I just fixed it. Thank you. College at the University of New Mexico, and we went to a party at a friend of mine who was in Albuquerque. His parents were an Albuquerque resident. They were out of town. We decided to have a party at his house, and we did the call-in liquor, the delivery liquor, and one of their bathrooms was right next to the front door, and it had a shower in it. And so when I was the guy doing the acting, because I was the best actor, I guess, and the guy with the liquor, which was a case of beer and 3 bottles of Jack Daniels. I still remember to this day what we ordered. And he came to the door, and I answered it, and he looked at me kind of strange, and he said, "Liquor delivery?" And I said, "Oh yeah, just a minute." And I opened the bathroom door and said, "Hey, Dad, liquor delivery is here." And there was kind of a mumbling behind the shower curtain. Okay. And I told the guy at the door, "Let me go get his wallet." So I ran off, brought back what looked like a wallet, and I pulled the cash out of the wallet, and I said, "Here you go." And I said, he started to go, but, and I said, "Keep the change." And he said, and he put the liquor down, and he said, "Thanks." And went off. So, yeah. But, yeah, we used to be able to drive up in Santa Fe I shouldn't say in high school. I had friends that I knew that could drive up to a liquor store in Santa Fe, and if you looked old enough, you could buy liquor right out the window there.
Apparently, they do pot delivery too.
Daily says this.
Pro says
this still have drive-through liquor stores. Where are you, Daily, that you have that? Okay, let me. So I do have to thank Karen for letting me know that my my scrolling overhead was what's it called? Whoa, long one. Okay, hi Toby and Shelley. Sherry from Pennsylvania. No semicolon talk this time. A cute call. That said, though, I do think punctuation is important, but even more than that, Forrest tells us the nouns are important. What are your thoughts on this statement? By the way, love Shelley's important words video, but just wondering if, as a whole, you think most of the nouns in the poem represent most common definitions, or if maybe this is where we may most need to use our imagination. For example, heavy loads could mean heavy loads, L-O-D-E-S, as opposed to L-O-A-D-S. How imaginative do you think the poem is overall? Could it be basically all imaginative descriptions like Alice in Wonderland? Thanks. You want to take a shot at that first?
Well, the reason I started doing the videos, they're completely based on Forrest Fenn quotes. Anything he wrote in his books, anything he wrote in mysterious writings or his scrapbooks, or things that he said in interviews. And I did that because that way we get the context of how he uses these words that are in the poem. I mean, we can look him up in the dictionary all day long, but if he's using it in his own way, we need to know that. For a dictionary, he said use Google. He uses Google for a dictionary. So if there are words such as halt, which have alternative meanings like train stop, rather than just to stop, then I look to see, did Forrest ever use it that way anywhere? Although he did talk about trains, he never uses the word halt that I could find except to say to stop. So I also kind of want to investigate the other poems that are in The Thrill of the Chase, because a lot of those poems that he includes in The Thrill of the Chase, written by other people, include words that are also in the poem that he wrote. So I think they kind of go together. So we'll get into that eventually.
And by the way, I think you're doing an outstanding job, not just because you're my partner. You're doing an outstanding job on those Monday videos as you analyze Fenn's words. I think it's an important part of what we have to deliver in terms of content, even though we're kind of entertainment. So there you go. This is, you take it. Oh, you can't see the chat, can you? Yeah, you see the chat.
Oh, Jeffrey Grayjack, drive-through liquor barns still exist in Texas.
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Texas.
Yeah. We don't do it in New Mexico anymore. They so let me get back to Sherry's question. So by definition, a noun is used to identify any class of people, places, and things. And so since this is all about places and things, I think to a lesser extent about people, the nouns in the poem have to be very, very important. That is not to say they are more important than any of the other words. I think you have to treat all the words equally, but there's going to be adverbs in there that aren't going to be helpful. There's going to be adjectives in there that might be helpful, but only in the context of the noun that they're connected to. So I think the nouns are the most important word, and I think the key to resolving this is translating the nouns. Loads, for example, because heavy is the adjective that helps define loads. It's not light loads. It's not medium. It's not big loads. It's heavy loads. But what's important is that word load, which is a noun, and which then has to be translated into the object that it represents. And in order to do that, you have to be able to read Forrest Fenn's mind. When he says loads, in this case, heavy loads, what was he looking at? What was he seeing? What did he write down in the notebook that he was carrying with him when he was walking backwards through wherever he hid this treasure to determine which landmarks he was going to use in order to hide this treasure and write a poem telling you where it is. So what you have to think of is when Forrest uses that word loads, preceded by the adjective heavy, what was he looking at? What did he see? And I think one of the important things about going out and performing your boots on the ground, perhaps not coming back with anything, is taking photographs of each step along the way. And I don't mean literally every step. I think New Jersey, she has her own YouTube channel. Help me, please. The teenager Samantha. So Samantha and her dad, when they go out, her dad wears a chest cam, the same kind that policemen wear, and he documents literally every step of his visit because he's coming from New Jersey. He can't do that every year, and he takes that back with him, and he analyzes, goes through each of that video, and what he looks for are the loads. What would Forrest be looking at when he decided that was a heavy load? And that's what's going to give us an insight into resolving this treasure. So in answer to your question, Sherry, yes, the nouns are extremely important. Let's see. Tommy G, congrats on your grandbaby. Congrats on your grandbaby, sweetie. I don't think that was meant for me. I don't know.
I think the baby is the sweetie.
Oh, okay. Got it. Definitely not the sweetie, huh? Luckily, Jim,
I'm guessing if it was between you and a little baby.
Yeah, I agree. So Jim, our member vault member in Ohio, is COVID free. There are drive-through liquor stores in Ohio, and the liquor stores in Ohio have been deemed essential. So they get to stay open. Nice.
The liquor stores are essential?
Yeah, I guess in Ohio they are. People need to get drunk. Okay, this is Dave from Texas. We answered that. This is Dave from Texas again. Can you post a link to your old site so we can get a copy of the 2009-2010 fishing regulations? I can post it there, and you're going to have to search for them because I don't know exactly where they are. Give me a second. Can you answer some questions in the chat room while I'm doing this? Please.
I didn't see any questions. They're just talking to each other about liquor stores, drive-through liquor stores, and how you used to be able to buy hard liquor in Nebraska at 18, and everybody went up there to buy liquor.
Okay.
So pretty much all about booze tonight.
Dave, I can't give you a specific link where that is, but there's a very powerful search tool in WordPress. This is our old blog, a Gypsy Kiss blog, okay? So you can go there.
Helen K says, Forrest referred to fallen lodgepole pines as heavy loads when he was summer logging in Montana.
Again, so that's what you have to do when Forrest writes the word loads, when he precedes it with the adjective. And I think what you have to do in the case of Forrest Fenn is you have to look at the noun and imagine what was he looking at that required him to modify it with the adjective heavy. What was Forrest Fenn looking at when he made that note? This is going to be clue number whatever it is. I don't know where it falls in the numbering scheme of clues. But what was he looking at when he saw loads and then decided to use the adjective heavy to give us a more accurate definition, right? So that's what he was doing. So Jeffrey says, liquor stores in Austin are also essential. Holly says liquor stores are essential for alcoholics so they don't die upon withdrawal. I guess that's another way to look at it. Yeah. Okay, Dave. So I posted the link to our old blog on there. I want to warn everybody in advance. We haven't kept it up. So Ken again from Oklahoma. Just a thought I'd mention mysterious writings within the last month. Out a video about where warm water's halt facts, and they included that is a thermal element they used in the New York Times Cynthia Exchange justification. Yeah, we've seen that. We're not as convinced, unfortunately. I got to share. It's a picture from Jim. So Jim, I am going to. I'll have to upload that. So do me a favor, guys. If you're going to send an image, even if including the memes that are coming along, because they're funny, and this is really funny, send it to the Gypsy's Kiss email address at gypsyskiss@gmail. Because I haven't quite figured out how to get this a picture from here. Let me see. Let me try something. Go ahead. Can you do? Let's see if I can upload it someplace.
Can I do what?
Can you?
A little rooster and camel go to the dance night?
Yeah.
A rooster and camel went to the dance and the dance.
All right. Okay.
Dun, 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 da, 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 da.
I'm back.
Da, da, da.
All right. So let's
Should I do a
see.
puppet show next? I could get the puppets out.
Let's see. So Davio's left 3 voicemails. I'm going to do the last one. All right. Here's the.
Yeah, but what if they're all connected and then he'll just you won't understand what's going on in the third one if you didn't hear the first 2.
Okay. Well, let me see if any of them are relevant. Okay. So we'll just play all of them. So Jim just sent me that. Let me get it out of my email here. He just sent me the picture because it is pretty funny. Ta-ta. So keep them entertained while I'm doing that. I don't want any dead air here.
Okay. Well, I could read to you from a book or something. I don't know.
All right. I got it here.
What do you want me to do?
Thank you anyway. So
Do you want me to pull an oracle card and see what it's got to say?
Let's see.
I got some books here I could read to you.
Hang on. So let me show you what Jim sent. All right. He says, here's what he sent me, and screenshot. And he says, our governor in Ohio, Mike DeWine, holds his daily COVID briefings at 2 p.m. Wine with Divine. 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock somewhere. That's really cute. All right. Send your.
Davio says, yes, Shelley is smart. Yes, first.
Yeah.
In other words, you need to listen to the first one first.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I got to turn the volume down on him first. All right. Let's play it.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. Never understood a single word he said, but I helped him drink his wine. And he always had some mighty fine wine. Age 133, there's a frog told me I should drink this whole bottle. So, you can blame it on that little froggy deal over there on page 133 for me drinking a whole bunch of this here. It's all the inside that bottle. Now it's inside of me, and I have to get it back outside of me. So, thank you and happy searching, because Jeremiah said, drink some freaking wine. So, joy to the world, baby.
Okay. All right. So let's do the second one. See if he's still drinking.
Salutations to the search community. Tavio22 here. I've had a relative pass away just yesterday. And that means I'm not too screwed down tight enough here to go and make my heart happen. To make some of that go, that would be outstanding, because and there's much love for me to you, and well, that's all. I'm done for a while. I'm out.
So, Davio, we are saddened to hear of the passing of one of the members of your family. Our deepest sympathies go along with that, and I'm almost hesitant to say what I'm about to say, but that is, I think, an experience that more of us are going to have as we progress through the evolution of this virus. I think I can confidently predict that we will, at least, at a minimum, every one of us will know someone who has been diagnosed with the virus, and hopefully every one of them recover. For those of us who are trying to do the right thing. If you don't have the virus now, stay at home, practice social distancing, practice washing your hands, and don't get the virus. If you do get the virus, then avoid contact with anybody else so that you don't give the virus to anyone else. I'm going to strongly recommend, again, that you watch our shows on Monday nights, COVID Conversations with Dr. Brown, because he'll answer all your questions. And at least being knowledgeable and aware and informed will help you get through this. But as I said earlier, I feel like I can, again, confidently predict that that we're going to experience a change in the manner in which we live. It's going to affect all of us, and hopefully all of us survive and make it through this without being sick or without losing people that we love. So I think we all just have to do the best that we can. So watch us on Monday nights. I feel like it's important for all of us to watch it. And I don't mean to sound so depressing, but I've gotten really realistic about these things over my life, and this is very different. This is a very different situation for us. All right. You ready for inbound telephone calls, Miss Shelley?
Okie dokie.
Let's see. All right. Phone lines are open, 202-815-1171. Give us a call and tell us what you think about this season's treasure hunt. As I said, next week we're going to release our annual survey. We've added a couple of questions relating to the situation. And I hope that all of you take the time to respond to the survey. We've made it easier. You don't have to have a Gmail account to answer this year's survey. It's in a jot form, and the only question that asks for your email address is optional, and that is only if you want a copy of the survey after it is published, email to you. So we will release that next week. We'll give you the link next week, and you'll be able to respond to it. We had close to 400 respondents last year. We're hoping for even more this year because it is an important mechanism for keeping track of where we think this treasure hunt is. Again, 202-815-1171. Call us now and tell us what you think dang near about anything.
2025.
Is that what your number is? 2025?
It was 2023, but now this has pushed it 2 years.
Yeah, 2025. Yeah. Let me see. How old am I going to be? 76. Ugh. I'll just be barely getting around.
Oh, you said that about when you would be 71, you'd be like that. And look at you now.
I'm still trucking. No.
Yeah, and look at the guy we talked to earlier today, Herb.
So this guy had an interesting story. He had a quintuple bypass. So as usual, like most men, he ignored all the indicators. He ignored all the symptoms, felt like he was invincible, happened to go to his doctor for a stress test, and his doctor literally ordered him from the test to the hospital, where they performed a stent implant just to keep him alive long enough to get him on the operating table. He had a quintuple bypass surgery the following day. This is now 15 years later. And not only is he happy to be alive, he looks like he's so there's something about that liberates you to enjoy the rest of your life because you realize how close you came to not having your life and how much you would have missed in the process. So,
how many times has that happened to you though? Like 7?
It's not 7. It's
where you almost died.
Oh, I don't know.
You almost died.
I don't keep track.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. There was the motorcycle accident. There was the stabbing. There was the helicopter crash. Let's see. There was how many is that? Motorcycle.
That's 3 right there. So
wait, motorcycle, stabbing, helicopter
it's
crash.
It's not stabbing. It's bayoneting. It's very different.
Okay. Anyway, 3. What else? I know about the lightning. That's 4, but I know, and then the heart attack. That's 5. So how many more? How many more did I miss?
The Balkans, the episode in the Balkans, the episode on the aircraft coming back from Europe.
You mean the heart attack? I
Yeah.
mentioned that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So let me see.
Okay, so that's 6.
Yeah, I still have 3 more to go. Let me see. Can I think
Yeah.
of? Oh. Well, I actually wasn't put in danger in Afghanistan. I was just thrown in jail. So
Yeah,
that doesn't.
hotel jail.
Daily, see, even Daily Agenda is asking. It wasn't stabbing. I was in the service. I was bayoneted. I was, but
In the line of duty, he
In
was
the-
stabbed in the line of duty.
I don't know if I like that. Yeah,
But
stabbing is very even Sassy is saying stabbing is completely different. It wasn't stabbed. I was bayoneted. That's different.
okay. It's a word choice. Okay.
Okay.
Bayoneted.
And
Anyway, you
and-
nearly died.
and the other guy got the worst of it anyway. So here we are.
You should see the other guy.
You should have seen the other guy. So yeah, we've had some things that give us a joy for. No, Toby is not
know-
going to show you the scar again. That
You
was,
know how many times I've almost died? 0. 0.
what about that? What about that chocolate overdose you experienced one time?
No.
No?
Never happened.
Oh, okay, all right.
Wasn't me.
Come on, guys. Phone lines are open. At 202-81. Let's get off this topipic. Why are we talking
I still
about
have 9 lives, and you're
Yeah.
down to 3 left.
this? All right. Well, you ought to lend me some of yours. That's what it takes. All right.
Okay.
So
Do
phone
that.
lines are open, 202-815-1171. We're okay if you don't call. We'll just call it an early night, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow night in the movies. And again, let me see how many.
In the movies, you could show a video right now. You could show a promo.
Which promo for what?
The member vault.
Okay.
What else?
I'm doing that. We did get
Join
a new,
now. We're having a drawing
Oh, that's
on
right.
next Thursday for the next big prize.
When is the first of the month? Is that on Wednesday?
Wednesday?
All right. So each month, so I don't know if you guys remember, but I bought a bunch of items at the World Series of Fenn. Oh, interrupted. So we're going to have to come back.
Just got on a roll.
Just got on a roll. Hey, you reached Toby and Shelley. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Doug, Journeyman from Missouri.
Hey, Doug, Journeyman from Missouri. How are you doing tonight?
Well, pretty good. I've never called in, so I figured I would do it once.
Yeah, just to get the ball rolling
No.
kind of thing?
Yeah. Come out of my shell.
Yeah, you know what? This is an important time, I think, for people. This is this is an opportunity at this period in our history for all those introverts to come out of their shell and represent.
Yeah. Well, I also did do a good run with you on the getting stabbed and almost dying stuff too.
Okay, good. Let's
No.
hear it. Let's hear it.
No. Well, I would have been out. I was going to move out there last August, and as I was kind of clearing up the medical here, they threw me in the hospital again. I just about this stuff. I had chronic pancreatitis, or have,
Oh,
so I've almost died a couple of times with that. I like feisty women, so I've been stabbed by one of them about 3 different times.
my kind of woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I still have a little thing for her in my heart.
So yeah.
Nice woman.
No pun intended. She has
That's another one I
Yeah.
forgot when that woman shot at you.
Oh, that's true. So, do you actually go looking for women who are going to stab you, or it just happens out that way?
It just happens that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm perfectly nice, and I try to be a gentleman and not they get mad. I kind of hold on, settle down, relax, and I just got to make sure they're not near any knives when
So-
you tell them to slow down and settle down.
So, I've always wondered once you're stabbed, and assuming that you survive it, what is it that you can say to that woman? What's the conversation like after that?
She stole my truck and took off and left me on the ground.
Jeez. So stabbed you
I had to
and
go-
then stole your truck.
Yeah. I had to walk about 2 miles, about 7 miles to her house to pick up my truck the next day.
Oh, just to get to the hospital.
No, I didn't go.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't.
I got lucky. When she stabbed me in the chest, she hit my ribs. And when she stabbed me in the back, she hit the center part of my spine.
Wow. So
Didn't
this
do any real damage.
Was this 2 separate stabbings or the same one on the same night?
That was the same one, same night.
Ah, dang.
So.
And how soon did you start dating her again after that?
Oh, we talked the next day. I bought her a punching bag to take, so she could take her aggressions out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up going our separate ways.
Eventually, I could understand that happening. At least you were able to go your separate way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've broken my back 3 times and my neck twice.
Wow.
And that wasn't from a girl. That wasn't from a girl either.
Yeah, that was just because you have an unusual. What do you do for a living that you cause your back and your neck to be broken?
I used to be a carpenter.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were from.
Oops, I lost that last part. What was that?
The two of the back breaks were from construction.
Yeah.
And the final one's the one that actually breaking my arm got me out of construction.
Yeah.
So then I went into sales. I was a private investigator for a while. I was a photographer for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Loan officer, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I get
bored. Where are you in the grand scheme of relationships with women? Still trusting? Where do you stand with all that?
Oh, single.
Yeah, you're still single. Yeah, I could understand that.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I'm really not looking for one. Not trying to bring it down, but my last girlfriend, she passed away about 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, she had cancer, and then I lost my fiance to cancer. Also, a different girl.
And you suffer from? Did you say pancreatitis?
Yeah. Yeah, it was 2003 and 4. It was a pretty sucky year.
Yeah.
My fiance died. I ended up at the hospital with that crap. My mom passed away from cancer, and within about a couple more years, everything else went to hell.
So, with all of that in your life, what makes you? What gives you the impetus to go out and search for Forrest Fenn's treasure?
Well, I got to start over. You got to start over all the time.
Oh, okay. So you're. It sounds like you're a pretty resilient guy.
Oh yeah. People have been trying to kill me for years.
That's good. So we're in 2020. It has 10 years out. We still haven't found it. Now we have to deal with the fact that states are locking down and preventing people. I shouldn't say preventing people. They're trying to keep people from hurting themselves. How are you going to deal with the fact that it's going to be very difficult to search this year? Are you looking in Yellowstone, by the way? Just yes or no?
No, I'm 100% New Mexico.
Okay. So what are your plans for either getting out or not getting out to New Mexico this year?
Well, it just all depends on when, if they can open up the states or not.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was planning on moving there. I mean, I sold my RV. I downsized to a van, and I bought a tent that was too big for my van. So then I had to buy a trailer for the tent. And since I did that, I went and bought a motorcycle too. So now I'm ready. And then this crap happened.
Yeah.
It's putting a hold on it all.
So it sounds like you can go any place and make a living. Is that right? I mean, you've got to be very versatile. So
I'm retired, basically.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm happy that you made it to an age old enough to be retired, considering.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that for a while myself.
That's good. Yeah,
But I've always said on the treasure about because Fenn always he does things in 15 years,
yeah,
and I think if it's not found by 25, that he's going to give us a series of hints if he's still around.
he's just tired of waiting for something to happen. You think?
Well, it's fit into his persona of every 15 years he wants to move on to something else.
Yeah.
And but I was planning on finding it quicker than that, but I just can't get out of Missouri to get over there again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I thought we did some research on that whole 15 years thing, Shell, didn't we?
What do you mean the whole 15 years thing?
That he said that he likes doing things every 15 years, but there's no evidence that he actually does that he really has these 15 years.
Everything but the service. Yeah.
Well, the
years.
service was 20 years. If you count, then he got out of the service, and he was from 70.
The art gallery, that was 15 years.
Yeah, 73. If you count 73 to 88, that was 15 years. And then 88 to 2003, he stopped being mobile because he sold his aircraft. And 2000, and then he hides it in 2010. So you think around 2025, based on the 15-year theory, that he's going to get tired and he's going to start tossing additional clues out there so that it can be found.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not found by then, but
Yeah.
I think he might be getting a little impatient because of him doing things that
Yeah.
on that he gets bored easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So wait a minute. Captain Marvel asked, "Where are you moving to?" No, you broke up. Turn around.
New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
New Mexico or Arizona, somewhere in the Southwest.
So
I gotta get out of Missouri. They're driving me crazy here.
So you think your search date is New Mexico?
Yes.
And what?
I've had that gut feeling from when I first read the book.
All right. So it's just a gut feeling. You're not going like, oh, well, he lives there, 1,000 books published, et cetera, et cetera. So it's all gut feeling at this point for you.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I've done quite a few boots on the ground.
Yeah.
But the first time I didn't have any certain destination.
Yeah.
I narrowed it down to 3 places in New Mexico where I wanted to go. And so when I made my first trip back in 2013, I went to those areas and just got all the information I could out of each area so I could go back home and analyze it. I was on a limited time on the first time I was there.
Mm-hmm. So did I ask you what your name was in the chat room? Are you a lurker or do you participate in the chat?
No, this is Journeyman.
Oh, Journeyman. That's right. You said that. Sorry. Journeyman. Okay. All right, Journeyman. Well, thank you for an entertaining and informative telephone call. My only advice, of course, is make sure that the next woman you pick isn't going to stab you. But you never know.
I got a metal detector at my front door.
Yeah, so you can always give them a metal detector before they come in the door. Although you never actually know, do you? You never know until, of course, they have the same problem. They never know about us until our crazy comes out. So.
Yep.
All right, sir. Well, you enjoy your evening. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Stay. What do they call it? Stay socially distanced from people.
Stay clean.
Stay and wash your hands a lot. All right.
Okay. And I have a brunch with you or some lunch with you. When I get there, I can tell you the stories I can't say on the air.
Well, I'll do it. So what I'll do afterwards is once I hear the stories, I'll tell them from an anonymous source. How's that?
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
All right, sir. Thanks for
All
calling
right.
in tonight. We appreciate it.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
You know what we need more in life? More
Love, love, love.
That too, yeah. More self-deprecating humor. I think that always. Davio says stay single. So that's good advice if you've gone through. Oh, I don't want to say the number of marriages I have.
Spell the area you're looking in. Rio, R-I-O, Day, D-E,
Here.
Los, L-O-S, Pinos, P-I-N-O-S.
Enye. Rio de los P-I. Let me see. Is it alt? Let's see. How do we do this? Alt 0.
An N with a thing over the top.
Tilde.
Wiggly.
A tilde.
A wiggly thing.
A tilde. Nope, it's not that. It's
A wiggly thing.
Oh, it's not that. Dang nabbit. Is it 169? 0169? Nope, that's a copyright. Read some questions while I do this. Do you have anything in the room?
No, there's no questions. No questions. Drink.
Okay, hang on.
AGK.
Here you go.
Would you please spell the area you're looking?
That's what I'm doing
I did
right
read
now.
the question. That was the question.
Oh, dang nabbit. It must be alt 1. There we go. Rio de los Pinos.
Okay. So
That's where we're looking. I just put it in the chat room. All right. Who was asking?
Ron Williams.
Okay. Ron. So that's the area that we're looking in, Ron.
It's up near the border between New Mexico and Colorado.
And as a matter of fact, in order to get there, actually, I was going to say you have to. So there are two ways to get there. One is by going into Colorado, going north to Colorado, west from, is it Antonito?
Yeah.
And then into the Rio Grande National Forest, down through New Mexico into the, which national forest is that?
Carson
National Forest. So that's one way to do
Rio
it.
de los Pinos, Pinots, the wine.
Very funny.
That's funny. Alan K.
Oh, okay. Pinos, Rio de los Pinos. So Bertie's in the room. Hi, Bertie. There's another way to get there. You can go north through Chama to New Mexico, and you take Forest Road 70. Is it 78 or 74? Do you remember?
I've never driven it. I've only read it.
So here's what we were talking with a gentleman that was familiar with that area. He happened to be. They were doing a family thing in what we call the picnic area, which is right the other side of the Rio de los Pinos that you see us crossing in our little pickup truck. And by the way, phone lines are open 202-815-1171. Call in and talk about your search experiences. Anyway, I asked him about coming, instead of driving all the way up to Colorado and then back down south again into New Mexico. I asked him, was it possible that hey, Bethlehem, hold on just a second. Let me tell this story. I wondered if it was possible. You're going to have to turn off your computer, okay? Or the audio. I asked him if it was possible to come up this Forest Road 78 north through New Mexico, and he said yes, if you want to change your car. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said that road is so rough that by the time you're done driving it, your vehicle will be different. So that's why we've never taken that route. I suppose if I had some old pickup truck and I wanted to beat it to death. We do see hunters coming up from that road, and they're always in trucks that you would say, oh, yeah, I guess I would do it with that truck. I've never seen a hunter come through with his new four-wheel drive.
Sarah wants to know how you got the tilde.
It's Alt 164 on your keyboard, on the numeric keypad. Press down the L. No, I think it's, let me see, make sure, 164. Yeah, Alt 164. Hey, Pennsylvania, what's your name and where are you calling? Well, you're calling from Pennsylvania, apparently. And what do you want to talk about?
Hi, it's Sherry from PA.
Hi, Sherry. How are you doing? You sent us a text message earlier.
Yes.
All right.
I'm doing well. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So, first of all, condolences to Davio. And I just wanted to say that you were asking about like when the treasure might be found.
Yeah, I'd like everybody's opinion. Actually,
Okay.
what I asked was, will it be found in 2020? And if your answer is no, then tell me when you think it's going to be found.
No, I don't think 2020 because of all the travel restrictions and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that because everybody is at home and might be studying everything more, maybe next year or the following. So that would be my hopeful guess.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that, like, as an encouragement for people to, really get into the poem again and the book again. Not to get real specific, but I had a loss of two very dear relatives back to back 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got me initially in the chase to begin with. I went through a very bad time, and having that to work on. I mean, I know some people say it drives them crazy and everything, and it does to a certain degree, but it really helped me. It really helped me when I needed to just get away from everything that was going on, to concentrate on trying to solve this. And it's what got me and my partner out into nature again and enjoying it. But it was just when the steam was building up too much, I just went to the poem. I went to the book. It took my mind off things. And I just wanted to encourage people to do that, and to say that, because we're going to all have more time to do that, maybe next year or the following. So we'll see.
So you suggested that after having, you didn't say, did you say relatives, two
Yeah.
people close to you pass, and
Yes.
the chase became, or the search for the treasure became a distraction. How did that connection take place? So they passed. What happened that caused you to take an interest in the treasure hunt?
So briefly, my maternal grandmother passed, and then 3 weeks later, my mother passed. And I come from a small family. It hit us like a ton of bricks. And then, of course, we had some just issues not within my family, thank goodness, but with another family about estate issues, etc. And I was basically losing my mind.
Yeah.
And I just stumbled upon the poem. I don't even remember how, somehow on the internet. And it just gave me a focus. It gave me something to take my mind off everything when the steam was building up, when I couldn't deal with things in reality. I escaped to it. And all the things I've learned, I mean, things I don't necessarily need to learn, like Forrest said, foot pressure pounds or whatever, all that stuff. But it took me away from what I was having to deal with. And so, to some extent, it drove me crazy, because I'm like, trying to figure all this stuff out. But it also just relieved a lot of stress. So I just think it's something to consider as an option. Yeah.
So I have a question for you that's more personal than about the treasure, but I want to say something first. So one of the reasons I ended up staying in New Mexico and not retiring to Costa Rica was to care for my mother, and she and my sister were extremely close. And my mother passed away in, I think it was November 2014, but 3 months later, my sister passed away.
Oh, wow.
And they were 30, let me see, she was, there were 35 years difference between the two. I wondered, you mentioned that your grandmother passed away, and then 3 months later, your mother passed away. Was there some sort of connection there that you thought? Was it the loss that what happened to your mother when your grandmother passed away?
It was actually only 3 weeks later.
Oh, I see.
That my mother, yeah. My grandmother was very elderly. It was her mother. And then my mom had been battling cancer, and I had been one of her main caretakers. And there was a step family involved, shall we say, that and started just some very unethical things as far as the estate went and everything. So there, there was and basically because I was the main caretaker, I knew what was going on. But a lot of my other direct family did not. So there was like just a lot of pressure that I was dealing with. And did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. I was just curious if I know other people who there's been a loss in the family, and then soon thereafter, one of the caretakers passes as if they didn't have anything else to do. The same thing happened with my grandmother and one of my aunts. My grandmother passed at, she was just about to hit 100 when she passed, and then 3 months later, my aunt, who was her primary caretaker, passed. It was like she just didn't have something to do with the rest of her life. I always wondered if there was a connection when that happened.
Yeah, no, not that way as far as with my mother and her mother. But now that I look back on it, I can only imagine what my mother went through, but that was not the direct connection. And perhaps maybe one of the reasons that I took it as hard as I did, which of course, if your mother passes, you're going to. But yes, I was my mother's caretaker. So yeah, there is that sense of like, now what?
Right.
Like, now
Yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you found the search for the treasure interesting enough to distract you from that kind of difficulty, sorrow. And so let's get back to that. So you have a lot of time now to conduct. You have all this time during this period in 2020 to think about where you want to go with all this. What do you think is going to happen for you in 2021 when we're virus free?
I think I'm going to find the treasure. No.
Really? Wait, raise that rooster, Shelley.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
So that's the rooster. That's the call of the rooster. What state are you going to find the treasure in?
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yep.
That is very different. So Wyoming, but not in Yellowstone, or Wyoming in Yellowstone?
Not Yellowstone.
Not Yellowstone. I was like,
don't-
go ahead.
I don't think it's in a park. I mean, that's just I just don't think it's in a park.
Right. And what's your argument for that? Why don't you think it's in a park?
Well, especially not Yellowstone because of his comment the one time about staying on the trails.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also I don't necessarily think it's because it's the complications, because I think he put it wherever was most important to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just think it's going to be in a national forest.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me too. So Wyoming's national forests tend to be the Wind River Range and above, all the way to where the Wind River, that particular range, enters Yellowstone National Park. Is that the area that you're looking in? Because most of Wyoming isn't at the right altitude.
Right. Yeah. It's mostly the western, like from the center of the state over. I don't want to give away too much. But
No. You don't have to.
Over.
We spent some time there, as you may know. Shelley and Kevin and I spent some time in the Lander area in the Sinks Canyon State Park, which we found just really, really beautiful, but way too trafficked for our taste. So.
Right. And my first solve, that was the issue too. Like that's what concerned me the most about my first solve, was that there just seemed to be too much traffic.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, good luck in surviving the year of research and getting out next year. I think it's the advantage is we're all kind of in the same boat this year. We keep trying to tell people. My friend John Bobbitt is dying to get out because he knows where the treasure is. He wants to recover it, and then he wants to bring it back so that we can interview him when he does that. And I keep trying to convince him that this wouldn't be a good year to do that, and nobody's going to find it in the meantime. I think he worries about that. Watch out, Rooster. There it goes. So, all right, Sherry, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. And
absolutely.
Thank you for your thoughts on the matter. And I hope we answered your question when it came to nouns.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes,
good.
Very much.
All right. Thank you, young lady. You have a good evening.
Thank you. You also.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I did get a couple of text messages while we were doing that. Let me take a look at them and see what we got. Let's see. Ken says, Toby, did you get struck by lightning? I've never been struck, but I have kind of a funny fly fishing story if you want to call. All right. I did get struck by lightning in 1983 coming down from Mount Elbert that I had taken. Mount Elbert is the tallest of the 14ers in Colorado. It's the third tallest mountain in the continental United States. But it wasn't a difficult climb. It's basically a strenuous hike. And I had taken up the brother and some of his friends of my wife at the time. He would have been my brother-in-law and some of their friends. And they had been very slow to make the climb. So we got to the mountaintop after the summer storms. It was August. And the summer storms were coming in from the west. And so I tried to get them down soon enough. And you can actually smell when it's about to strike. And so I told them to take off all their equipment and to put anything with metal and to scrunch down to the ground. We were still above the tree line, so we were the tallest. And as I was giving orders, I got struck. And thankfully I survived it, but you can see a gray streak of hair where I was struck. So survived that.
Kpro wants to know, the woman who just called you, Sherry from Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
what's her name in the chat?
I didn't ask her that. I don't know. Let me see if she's got it logged in here. She didn't. I didn't ask her. Kpro, I'm sorry, I didn't ask her. Let's see. Sherry, do me a favor if you're still watching. I don't know. We call them lurkers. It's not meant to be a negative thing. It's just people who don't chat. Kpro wanted to know. You know what you can do? Text me your chat name if you don't want to chat. I guess so. I don't know how else to do that. Okay, let me read these. Oh.
Are you playing with little cars?
No, it sounds like it. This is Dave from Texas. Wait a minute. Texas again. Can you post a link to your... Okay, we did that. This is Dave from Texas. Did Fenn say... Oh, so she just texted me, Kpro. She says she doesn't do chat. So she's not in the chat room. This is Dave. You know what you can do if you want to talk to her? Kpro, of course, will be on all day tomorrow with the marathon. And I know they are... Kpro, I didn't ask if you were going to take calls. So Kpro says, my God, Toby, come on, this is important. So Sherry, Kpro, are you going to be taking calls tomorrow? And then I'll just ask Sherry to call you. Let's see. This is Dave from Texas. Did Fenn say, this is for you.
Me?
Yeah. Did Fenn say that you can only solve the first two clues with a Google map? You need to be boots on the ground for the others. What did Fenn say about that, Shelley Carney?
He said, play the little girl from India video.
So he was once asked way back in, I think it was 2014. Am I correct? Okay. So I'm acting as a third-party communicator. Sherry has your email address. She said, thank you. Right. You're right, JK Pioneer. I should have the number, but I can't give it to her. She doesn't want to chat. I'm certainly not going to share her telephone number. Although Lord knows I've done it in the past.
Not on purpose, anyway.
Okay. I knew you were going to come up with something like that. So, Dave, what Shelley was trying to explain is that when one asked, and I'm going to get a lot of pushback in the room here, when asked if a little girl in India who has the poem and a good map could find the treasure, Fenn's response was she can't get past the first two clues. After that, she'd have to be boots on the ground. So that's what he said. And go to terryscant.com and search Little Girl in India. Not Little Girl from India, but Little Girl in India. Okay, that was from Sherry. She said she'll get back in touch with you, Kpro, so that you have an email. I mean, she has your email now, so get in touch. All right, that's it for... we did have another... Oh, no, we didn't. All right. So again, phone lines are open, 202-815. We got time, I think, for one more call, 202-815.
So we were talking about the member vault. We're giving another giveaway on Thursday of next week.
Go ahead.
And then you were saying about it, and then you got interrupted.
Okay.
About the giveaway.
You know what I'm going to do? Let me put the phones on hold just so I can finish this. So in the member vault, so when I was at the World Series of Fenn, I bought one of the packages from Mike and Christie, and in that package it included a Chaseopoly and 3 copies of the book, and there was something else I'm still missing. The map, which we still have, and the hoodie, which you kept, right?
Yes.
So we still have a signed copy of each of the books, The Thrill of the Chase, Too Far to Walk, and
I didn't think they were signed.
Once Upon a While. Were they not signed?
No, they were still in their plastic.
Oh, that's right. They're still in plastic. And Christie wants me to call her ASAP. Let me see what's going on here. What's going on?
And we're giving it one of those things away.
Every month we're giving.
We already gave away Chaseopoly. Somebody wanted that at the last giveaway.
And
so we have the books and the map still left
to give away, and we're going to give one away a month, and we're just drawing the names of our vault members from a hat, and they get to choose which of the prizes they want. So our winner last month was,
and we just started studying Too Far to Walk.
Right. We're going into Too Far to Walk. So, yeah, we're moving along. But everything else that we've done, we record each one of our meetings. So you can go back now months worth of material to keep you busy because we went through The Thrill of the Chase first. Then we went through the poem, literally every stanza in the poem. I'm going to play it. I'll play it, and then I'm going to call and then I will call
Christie.
So if you're a brand new searcher, what's the first thing you want to do is read the book. So we're going to read the book. And then we're going to also, at the same time, match it up to the poem. So what did this chapter say to you about what do you see in the poem? How do they fit together? So we're going to work the poem and the book together. Now you can join at any time. It's going to be an open door membership.
In the bonus section on the member vault, we have added 2 videos that Toby produced.
Is he saying there is stuff in life that isn't worthy of spending time knowing, or that the real test of your intelligence is knowing the stuff that everybody else thinks is not worthy of knowing?
You know, when he talks about no special knowledge is needed to find the treasure, but maybe you need to know those things not worthy of knowing in order to find the treasure.
So you can find more about our member vault by going to gypsyskiss.com. All right, Christie, I'm calling.
Hey, Toby.
Oh, God, that does not sound like a good voice.
Well, no, it's okay. But I did get a message from Forrest just now, and I think it's important enough that it went to Dale, Jenny, and myself, and he wants a message out to the community as soon as possible.
All right, go ahead.
So I know we're at the very end, so I apologize.
No, not at all.
Okay, so here is his message. Attention treasure hunters. This will be up everywhere, I'm sure, very quickly, but for the people in the chat. Attention treasure hunters. Because of the virus, it is time to rethink the search. In these dire times, every logic and street sense says to stay home. Mayors and governors have mandated it, and so has the president. Much of the search area in all 4 states are closed. Because so many searchers are out of jobs, they are wanting to head out in their car and look for the treasure. I'm getting emails each day and tell me that. Please do not do it. Hopefully by summer things will be different. Let's stay home and wait it out. It is really easy to be sorry, and it lasts a long time.
You know what I would like you to do? I would like you to read that in its entirety one more time, please.
Okay, here we go. Whew. Attention treasure hunters. Because of the virus, it is time to rethink the search. In these dire times, every logic and street sense says stay at home. Mayors and governors have mandated it, and so has the president. Much of the search area in all 4 states are closed. Because so many searchers are out of jobs, they want to head out in their car and look for the treasure. I am getting many emails each day that tell me that. Please do not do it. Hopefully by summer, things will be different. Let's stay at home and wait it out. It is really easy to be sorry, and it lasts a long time.
You know, I think one thing that we know about Forrest Fenn is that for all of his mischievousness, he's a practical and pragmatic man. And the last thing he wants to hear is about another searcher that we've lost for whatever the reason, whether it's the cold or the terrain, or in this case, a virus that is an equal opportunity killer. And it affects. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and for those of you that might think, oh, there's a hint or there's a word. No, Forrest is saying something very simple. Be safe and stay at home. There's no super secret hint in this.
Right.
He is saying it as obvious as it can be. And if he's saying this, I've had a couple of searchers say exactly that to me. And I've been going back and forth with Forrest for about a week now about people are even more anxious because they're sitting at home and they think now they've got it figured out and they're going to try to get out before others.
Right.
How do you get around this, especially with the searcher death that just happened? He put out a relatively, I think, succinct statement.
Succinct is the word. You know what? I was thinking that word when you were about to say it.
Yeah, but this one, can you get more obvious? So if you go out, you are working against Forrest, this chase, and what he wants. That's the message I want to give. So I think this is the last time I have felt him be this strong is after the It Is Not in Water. He has had heavy heart about this. So it's like, God, take it serious, guys. Like, don't get, I mean, he gave me words a couple days ago about don't get treasure fever. This isn't that. This is saying stop it. And I know how many I get. I can only imagine what he gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you for letting me call in. I hate to sour the night. But
no, I don't feel like
go.
you soured the night. It bothered me with the voice that you started with because I thought you had more, a bit of bad news. That is not bad news. That is the leader of this effort. It's not a cult. He started this. He wants to see it finished one day, and he wants to see it finished without any loss of life or any pain caused to any family member, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a new part of this algorithm. It's not just the weather. It's not just the terrain. It's that equal opportunity killer that doesn't seem to care what kind of life it takes. And he's warning us against us. There's no, as Capro said, there's no clues in this. There's no hints in this. He's not telling us anything except to be wise and be safe.
Right. So don't read any more into it except stop it. I know I had 2 this week, and I give a little bit of back and forth, and then when I feel like probably more than Mike and I have been discussing, when someone says I'm going out because I'm now available and I don't have work or this and that, no. Yeah. The answer is no, and I try to leverage it with my own emotions because I'm having my own issues of homeschooling and work, and we have our own students having issues and things. So it's just, I mean, it's simple. This is as simple as it gets. He's not saying don't if there's no snow. He's not saying don't if this. He's saying stay home. That's it. He's saying stay home. So if you appreciate and at all Forrest Fenn, he's been clear.
Would you do me a favor and forward that email message to me so I can copy it into our community page?
Yes.
I'd appreciate that.
I sure will.
All right.
And it's kind of nice timing with the marathon in the morning because
Yeah.
we will start with that. You get it out on yours. Jenny and Dale will be getting it out, I'm sure, very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hopefully everyone hears it very, very quickly because, it's time, and I'm very appreciative. This isn't one sentence. This is, I read it all. So
Yeah, agreed.
yes, I sure will.
All right.
I'll forward it to you right now.
And why don't you do one last pitch for the marathon tomorrow?
Everyone, hopefully it will be fun. This is what we need to do. We need 12 hours of Forrest Fenn because we cannot go boots on the ground because we appreciate Forrest and safety for not only ourselves, but our family and our neighbors and our country. So Forrest Fenn, it will be fun. We will have banter. We will have silliness. We will have giveaways. We will have contests. You will laugh. You will cry, but you'll only cry because you're laughing so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
And I won't be driving because if I start laughing when I'm driving, I'm just going to have an accident because I can't see my sneaky eyes. All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for everybody in the room who suggested that I take K-Pro's call. I think that was a wise thing, and I'm glad that you guys brought it up. You have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You as well. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. So I do want to pitch one last time before we go for the evening. That's the link to our movie night tomorrow night. We're going to be playing and watching Contagion. Bring your own popcorn. Shelley and I will be there, and it's open. I mean, I don't imagine we'll get 100 people, but if you want something to do on a Saturday night, because we are not going to be doing the Church of the Search as the marathon will still be running. Okay, and this is kind of a non-competitive thing and a way to distract it. The marathon will be there before, and it'll be there. They'll be active before and after. And
hey, everybody. Thanks for being with us tonight for Friday Fandango and for A Gypsy's Kiss. I'm the Magical Treasure Princess, life coach to the rich and famous, and zookeeper to the stuffies, Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Younis, the administrative assistant and head of security for the Magical Treasure Princess, and who I don't get to see often enough. I don't know. It leaves a really empty place around here when she's not in the house. So I do miss her. And but we have some really great advice from Forrest Fenn, and it sounded to me like just the tone and texture of the message means that he's serious about this. Be safe at home. I was going to say be safe out there, but be safe at home. All right? We want to see this thing through one way or the other. You guys take care. If we don't see you tomorrow night, we will see you on Monday night at COVID Conversations with our friend Dr. Coffee Brown.